Hello, fellow Star Wars fans, especially a very special shout out to those Star Wars Legion players out there. My name is Starp and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down and recapping all the awesome reveals that happened at the Atomic Mass Games annual stream fest for 3 days called the Ministravaganza. They do this every year where they talk about all their projects, whether it be Marvel Crisis Protocol, whether it be Shatterpoint, and of course, whether it be Legion. That's why we're all here. So in this video, I'm going to be recapping all those awesome reveals. Don't expect me to go into the details of the unit cards or anything like that. I'm going to just talk from a hype perspective about the things that were updated, the things that were revealed, the new systems coming out, all those awesome features. I'm so excited to get into it with you guys. But first, before we get into it, please support this channel by subscribing if you haven't already. Every once in a while, I will do a Star Wars Legion video or a Star Wars miniature video because I also like Shatterpoint. But I also talk about Star Wars comics and everything else with the lore of Star Wars too. So if you like any of that or are interested, this is your place for that information. So without further ado, let's go into it. I'm going to be talking about the first thing that came up on that first Thursday, and that was Spec Ops is live. Yes, this is the beta test. It's now complete. So Spec Ops, if you are not familiar, this is a 3x3 format of a skirmish version of Star Wars Legion. And it's not the actual skirmish version that's been out for the launch of the game. No, this is an entirely new mode that actually forfeits the use of the speed and the movement tool, well, not the movement tools, but the range rulers to use tape measures. Instead of units, you're using actual specific little guys. They are pre-made teams for all four factions. You got the Separatists that has two different teams. You have the Rebels that have two different teams, the Empire two different teams, and you have the Republic with two different teams. They have loadouts you can select, but there's not really any upgrades, list building like you would expect from your normal 800-point games. But that leads to a lot of fun. There's different scenarios, asymmetric battles. They're going to be throwing in all these different things, and it's looking like it's a lot of fun. I have not tried it through the beta test, but I am really excited that Legion just has another mode that you can play in, because I know a lot of people were kind of bent out of shape when they announced Shatterpoint. Why can't we just use Legion models? Well, this is what Atomic Mass Games has done to appease to those fans. They rolled it out rather quickly, so I can't wait to get into this. The next big thing that they revealed was on Friday. We got them actually. They announced it and they're now available to download. 2 new battle forces for factions that really needed them because they only had one each, and that's for the Separatists and that's for the Republic. And I'm super excited about the Republic one. As a Republic player, we are getting the Wookie Defenders battle force. Yes, we can literally field an entire army of nothing but Wookiees if you're a Republic player. That's right, your noble warriors of the special forces now count as core units. On this battle force, you can have up to 6 core units. I believe it's 4 special forces, 3 supports. One of the supports, the gunship, or not the gunship, but the flyer ship, the support ship, actually has a special ship for this list that actually the attack vessel can actually, the fluttercraft is what I'm talking about, can actually at the beginning of each activation can either go to a speed 1 or a speed 3 instead of the speed 2. So if you really want to get over there and drop some bombs, this special issue, as they call it, for specifically the battle force is a nice enhanced special version of the fluttercraft. But yeah, you have Yoda in there, you have Chewie, you have the generic Wookie commander, and the special ability with this battle force is when a Wookie miniature gets defeated in a unit of Wookiees, that Wookie squad, once a turn, can actually use a speed 1 move to go forward. So it's like berserker Wookiees charging at you. It's going to be absolutely frightening, and this is something I've been looking forward to for a long time. I'm in the midst of building my Bright Tree Village, and I just love the idea that you have these like little furry creatures that aren't part of the rebellion exactly, but they're doing a lot of work. Now I'm just looking over to the Wookiees saying, I need to get more boxes of Wookiees because this is fantastic news. But they did not leave the Separatists behind. They also get something called the experimental droids. So what's neat about them, this isn't exactly the Kashyyyk invasion force, but they wanted to give something to the Separatists to obviously offset the Republic. So the cool things about this one, the attributes are Magna Guards. There's a special issue Magna Guard in there, as well as a special issue Snail Tank. The special issue Magna Guard, what's cool about that, just like the Wookiees, is instead of counting for special forces, those Magna Guards actually count toward your core units up to 6. So yeah, you get a nice Magna Guard now. They're a little bit less powered from what I can imagine. I don't think they have the bodyguard ability or anything like that. But the rank requirements are all usual, right? You got the 2 commander slots, you have the 6 core units, the 3 special forces, the 3 supports, and they have the droid dakers. They're trying to put the droid dakers out there because a lot of people are using those destroyer droids, so that's kind of neat there. They have a really cool ability though. In the game, every activation phase for those separatists, they're able to put surge tokens on their card, 3 of them. And any unit that has the protocols or the AI, I should say, within a range 3 bubble of that commander, they can use an action to take off that search token, and then they get access to modifying their dice. They get access to moving, access to taking off suppression, and a condition or whatever. There's a lot of different things. It's kind of like a wild card ability. Leads to extra support to the separatists if you're using the experimental droids. So yeah, I mean, it's a great gift that Atomic Mass Games has given us. It's like, oh, you never heard about these battle forces? Well, guess what? The PDF file's online. You can download it and print out your cards. So that's the beauty part of battle forces, is they can literally just drop that stuff on us anytime. I'm so grateful. I cannot wait to use my Wookie Defenders Battle Force. It's going to be awesome. And getting into the meat and potatoes of this, of all the reveals, we got 4 more units announced for the game that we hadn't heard about before. Now, the first one is something, again, that's basically specifically for me, like the Wookiees were. The Galactic Republic has finally gotten an announcement that we're getting clone commandos. Yes, and that's not all. We are getting specifically generic squad, as well as Delta Force or Delta Squad from the Republic Commando video games and the Karen Travis books. So I can't wait for this. I can't wait to run my ARC Troopers with my commandos and have the most elite fighting force in the entire galaxy. I'm just a huge fan of just the armor and just the visors, and they're just really cool. They're like the most badass unit in all of Star Wars that works together, right? Well, Inferno Squad's pretty cool. The Separatists are getting crab droids, so that's nice because, you know, we got the spider droids already. Now, here we go. In Utapau, we see those crab droids. For the Empire, we've seen these on a paint stream. The range troopers from Solo are getting a little bit of action. Now, I don't know if these guys are core units or what, I would assume, because there's like 7 on the image there. And then for the Rebels, they were getting the Rebel Saboteurs, and that's really neat because they were talking about they wanted inspiration from, this was inspired by an Andor, where you just have like regular civilians like acting out against oppression and different things. So you see a lot of these characters, these minis in this unit that are not really in military garb. They're just like your everyday guys that, you know, have, you know, just popping out blasters and just firing away. And you even got a droid in there and stuff. So, hey, I like the idea that, hey, this is what the Rebels are made of, this ragtag group of people. Not all of them have military experience, but they're willing to stand up and fight. So I expect that this unit might have more than like a 4 count of base troops or something like that in each squad. We also got updates on previously announced units. So they spent a lot of time talking about the Geonosians. I believe there's going to be a battle force for them. Don't quote me on that. But we got Geonosians, which look really cool. I love how Atomic Mass Games has gone away with those finicky, stupid little clear stands for the flight stands. Now they're using organic things like rocks and different vegetation to allow these Geonosians to look magnificent with their wings. Just amazing stuff. Looking at their unit card without getting too much into it, they have a jump, a free use ability, so these guys are fast. They can move up to 3 times speed 2. They also have overrun, which is used by the Wookiee Fluttercraft, which is really neat. Anytime you move over an enemy, you can take a pot shot at them, essentially. Also, the swoop bikes have that as well. So I like that flavor in there as well. You got the force pikes. These guys are going to look awesome. They also spent more time talking about the 5th brother and the 3rd sister. What's neat about them is, even though they're both operative units, if you use the 3rd sister with the 5th brother in one army, that would only count as 1 operative rank. So you could still throw in, you know, Operative Vader in there if you really wanted to. So yeah, they look really cool. I like the flavor of their cards. You know, they're not going to be as obviously as strong as a Jedi. They shouldn't be, but they have a lot of tricks up their sleeves. So I'm looking forward to seeing those guys. I'm looking forward to fighting against those guys, I should say. And finally, a big thing that they announced, and this is not going to happen until the far future, they said, around 2025 or so, all these old kits of the first generation of Legion, the stuff that was printed in the soft plastic that you would just get in the baggies and just glue the things, that's all eventually going to be redone. And you're going to get, they showed us, you know, new hard plastic versions of Jedi Knight Luke, of Leia, of Darth Vader, of the Stormtroopers, of Rebel Commandos. And I think that's a great thing, right? Because these hard plastic miniatures look so much better. You have so much more customization with being able to, you know, apply the glue and position the arms and just have different sculpts and a whole bunch of stuff that looks way more dynamic. You know, you compare what they showed off on the image of the new Stormtroopers to what the first generation of out of the core box, and man, oh man, that's really cool. So we don't have really any details. Again, this is far down the line. Atomic Mass Games did explain that when they make something, it takes about 2 hours. I wish it was 2 hours. 2 years from concept to being on the shelf. So there's a long lead time, and they had just started this project, so we're probably not going to see it until 2025. You know, speculation could be anything at this point. Are they going to just release a new core box? I would probably assume so. They just re-released their Marvel Crisis Protocol. It's coming out in October with a new core box. So, I mean, I'd be down. I think by that time, the game would be you know, almost 8 years old at that point. I think it's probably time to reintroduce that, have brand new minis, and just have a whole new crowd of people to get into the game. But overall, my thoughts on Ministravaganza 2023. This was an absolute hit. I'll be honest with you. I'm really involved with Shatterpoint right now. I'm absolutely loving the game. And I even said the other day to somebody I was playing against, like, I don't even know if I'm really into Legion anymore. And then they got me back because, bam, they give us that instant gratification of, oh, you're getting Battle Forces right now. Wookiees, we've been waiting for that for a long time. The idea that we're getting Spec Ops, a new way to play the game, that's live. You can play that now. And we're getting fan stuff that we've wanted for a long time. Clone Commandos. I mean, come on, that's amazing. You know, Rebel Saboteurs, Crab Droids, Geonosians look amazing. Fifth Brother and Third Sister are going to add a lot to the game. So the game's looking healthy. Do I want the timing between these releases sooner? Yes. I mean, apparently none of this stuff is coming out till next year. So I would like to see that sped up. But again, you got to acknowledge, though, that Atomic Mass Games, I believe, is a very small studio. And these guys are just re-releasing Marvel Crisis Protocol. They got their hands tied up with Shatterpoint, which is incredible. I love the amount of frequency of them releasing the box sets for that. So Legion seems like it's kind of taken the back seat for now and coming out eventually with this stuff. But I think the future is bright for Legion, and that is the main thing I got out of this is, no, they are not done with Legion. It's not on life support. Obviously, if they are taking the effort, the resources, and the time to develop hard plastic of the old versions, this game it's got legs. This game's going on for a very long time. And I played a game last night, and I remember how much I love this game after I've not played that kind of stuff for a while because of Shatterpoint. But I think I've gone on long enough. Let me know in the comment section down below. What was your favorite thing announced at Ministravaganza or Ministravaganza 2023? Let me know in the comment section down below. As I said off the top, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I always talk about Star Wars here on a weekly basis. I even have a podcast called Outer Rim Transmission where we go over the general Star Wars news and reviews and things like that. And maybe every once in a while, I'll get on here and talk about some Star Wars minis. But I hope for you guys to join this awesome, positive Star Wars community with me here at the Star Wars YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. May the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at StarRaptor.